Shut
quit.
the fuck up, Derek. God damn it. I have it.
We will get it.
Why?
Sorry.
Maybe let me do it after Thursday's
I
episode. Maybe.
quit. He said, yes, we can use it.
So officially this time, after Thursday's episode, maybe I'll take the time to sit down. I'll compose up a little bit of a bullshit intro, outro. I'll talk to Sean over the phone and, see what he thinks and decides on. And then maybe we'll have an intro and outro for next week. Who knows? Shit can change in a couple of days. Because, it's kind of hard to do things when you're given a time frame of a couple of days to do something, Derek. I don't know, the last episode, I think we were told that there was a little bit of homework we had in regards to tonight. Sean, would you mind telling me, what did we talk about last episode?
I had an exam on Friday and an exam on Monday, so fuck yourself. It was my only 2 exams.
Just don't even try and explain yourself. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It's not like our viewers had time to watch
I had
the
2
video you had to watch.
3-hour-long exams and a paper to do. Fuck you.
In the span of a week.
No, Sebastian, in 3 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
What about Wednesday and Thursday?
Except we streamed on Thursday and we talked about this on Thursday, and I had an exam the next day and on Monday. So that's only Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Guess what? I had an exam 2 of those days.
And guess what you could have done all day today, too, which you said earlier, which we talked about earlier in the group chat. And you asked.
Didn't watch it, Derek?
No, he didn't, Sebastian. That's what the fucking point we're getting at here. He didn't watch it.
Derek didn't get to watch it, but yet our fucking viewers did. Julian and Katie watched the fucking video, and now they're waiting. Yes, and now they're waiting for us to talk about it.
Well, you guys talk about it then. Yeah. I'll just sit this one out.
Derek, no. Sean made a valid point. No, hold on.
I can be an unbiased opinion.
I said whether or not we should continue on with this episode or move it to Thursday and give you the chance to catch up. But you have a fair and open opinion when it comes to this kind of thing. And this conspiracy theory, I took notes just because it was an hour and some whatever fucking bit long. And it's just stupid to think back and not actually get the shit accurate. Because Sean's the type of person who will call people out for type of shit like this. So, Derek, you'll have an okay time. Because all this is, I'm going to drop this right here, right off the start. Basically, someone is trying to get at the conspiracy theory that everything you watch and everything you've watched since television and entertainment has become a thing has been structured by the CIA, the FBI, or somebody higher up in government, basically.
It's all propaganda to push you towards other feelings. Or there was a part of it where they were saying that they have made kids desensitized to death because of video games and killing people so ruthlessly in these video games that nothing.
I would disagree with that. The desensitization, it desensitizes you to things further in the media. If I see people die in video games and violent, gory movies and stuff, then I'm desensitized to violent, gory movies. But when you see it in real life, it's completely different.
Yeah,
but it's also but what they're getting at, it's also making people almost think it's okay to let that happening.
I don't know, man. It's different when you see it in real life. You if you kill an animal, there's this sad feeling that I've been playing violent video games my whole life, and it's not the same at all.
Well, I know, and you can see that. It's expressed on people's faces these days, and you can see children.
They're different minds. That's you as a person. There's 7 billion people in the world.
I suppose, but I've seen a person die in real life. It's not the same, dude. Not at all.
I mean, obviously, yeah, but
if anybody would be desensitized after watching R-rated movies and video games their whole life, it would be me.
Julian said propaganda is to push a narrative.
Yeah, no, it's not just that. That was just one thing, but they were kind of talking about how everything you see and take in, which are millions of things a day, they aren't all specifically programmed, but it's just they control the main things movies and Hollywood and what really famous people would be posting, the type of stuff.
There was one part in this entire video that I watched where I was okay, fuck, this one actually that was trippy. And it was when they played the single clip of every news station saying the exact same fucking sentence. I was like, bro, somebody is single-handedly writing everyone's scripts.
Yeah,
This
something
blew my mind.
for our democracy. It'd be like, this will
and it was
be
just like,
detrimental to our democracy.
And if you watch the news, it's always like they're telling you what to be doing and what to be saying.
oh yeah,
Because very weirdly,
after that clip that plays, it says like the one guy who's doing the newscast. It's like you can't read or listen what's going on elsewhere. It's like you're gonna get your news from us, like right from us. And
Yeah,
it's
but how
just
many
like,
people actually
man,
watch the news anymore? Our age especially.
there's still tons of people. Dude,
Oh my
imagine the
God,
fucking population of the world,
millions of
Derek.
people
No.
You have to take into the account there is a percentage of people in this world that sit down and watch this shit. And then from
Old people.
word to like mouth to ear, you know, people spread shit and talk about shit on the streets or just other accounts that people say things online. This weird thing starts to spread and one person says another and it's become this huge fucking mess.
When's the
of this
last time
random
any
shit.
of us watched news?
Yeah, but
I
at the
look at
time,
news shit
I
quite
saw it
often,
on
but-
today. My mom watches it all the time.
Your mom watches it. That's exactly it.
big news
Yes.
corporations also have huge Facebook pages, and so they post little Facebook clips. You see it all the time. You just don't recognize it.
It doesn't
you
need
take
to
in
come
so much
directly
media.
through. Yeah, it doesn't have to come directly through a TV news station, and then it even proves it in this documentary thing that they did. Is you can see that they talk about how different movies and things have been sent scripts and letters from the FBI or CIA, whatever, saying like, this is what we want your next film to be about, or here's a short manuscript of what is going to be the details of your next film. And it's like, okay, so one person or an organization is actually telling everybody else to do this when, we think, oh, Avengers is a fucking sick movie that Marvel created. They're just doing their own thing, doing it all, whatever. It's been fun and cool. But down the long line of it, there's one singular person who has planned this to make sure that people are watching this for a specific reason. And, it might not be the specific reason that's working, but it's this conspiracy theory that the government is testing these weird entertainment theories and what?
Avengers is a 65-year-old comic. Do you think that they...
We're not talking about
No, I know.
Marvel, though.
The
We're
CIA
talking
is
like it's
65 years.
Yeah, dude, the CIA's been around forever, dude.
They go
No, it
back and
actually
they
has.
talk
I
about
don't
how
think you guys know how
the
old
FBI and the
these
CIA
agencies
was able to manipulate all these different companies and entertainment brands. This is really the shitty part about Derek not watching the actual document or the
He's just
documentary.
gonna disagree with everything because he's
It
not
are. It just
watching
seems
it.
a little crackpot to me.
The CIA started
Because
in
you're not watching it.
Yeah. So there you go. One big thing, I guess, I don't know, realistically, it probably doesn't have any
I can't-
impact on Canadians.
I can't quite remember, but what was the part? Sorry to cut you off. I just have to get it out real quick because I've had it in my head for 3 minutes. What was the part where they were talking about somebody was a gospel singer, and then they're saying that somebody in Hollywood's if you want to make it
Oh, Lady
this.
fucking Gaga. She
Was
was
Lady-
she was
she
an
was a-
up and coming singer who was literally just a gospel girl. She didn't know anything else. She was straight Christian kind of thing. She was a good girl. Somebody
Mhm.
found her and was like, I can make you a star, basically, but you have to play by my rules. And so from there on out, this little gospel girl went
That's
to
what all of Hollywood is somebody up here playing puppet master.
exactly.
And so,
so, yeah,
It's
You
not
don't wanna-
just somebody, it's a lot of people.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're
it's-
we can make you famous.
Mhm. And if you
But
don't
you
want
have to do
their
what we
puppet.
say.
if you don't want to be their puppet, then they're like, hey, well, then you're not going to make it. We'll never let you be an A-list actor. You'll be a nobody. You're not going to make it in this world for you.
And they can
Like
make
that.
that happen.
Money talks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's a bunch, I don't even remember, but I remember there's a bunch of stuff where the CIA had to cover their shit up. Who was that one? She was a journalist, the girl near the end there. What was she talking about?
was her name Liz?
I remember that. Yeah.
Right at
It was
the end.
Katy Perry. Julian says, not Lady Gaga. It was Katy Perry.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I thought you said you took notes, Josh.
Well, I'm not taking exact notes. See, you got to be fucking watchful. People will catch your shit, man. It's real homework. This is a system, man.
And Derek couldn't
But,
even
like,
do it.
I had real
Mhm.
homework, bro.
Hey, this is real homework. You made
I'm
a
just
commitment
kidding,
to our
Derek.
viewers that you were going to be here and a part of this fucking team, Derek. Everybody is counting on you.
But then there's that other scientist who, I didn't even, it was a long ass time ago. And they like tested on people. It was like sound waves to brainwash them.
Are you talking about MK Ultra? It wasn't
Yes.
Soundwave.
It wasn't
They got drugged. They got drugged up with LSD, and then they were forced to basically watch television or a script that somebody had made for them to watch on hours on end, and they were trying to reprogram somebody's brain.
Open.
Yeah, they were trying to reprogram somebody's brain through entertainment. So basically, if you were to watch somebody massacre a bunch of people hours on end, you would either become that massacre person or you'd become the complete opposite because you're completely mortified.
See,
So they were trying to
I
brainwash
disagree
people.
with the whole video games make people violent thing, and it's like,
No, we're not saying that.
It's not
It's not
makes
saying
people
it makes people violent.
It makes people desensitized.
I disagree with that too.
You shouldn't, because like
It's no
that's
because
what
Derek,
tells you a gun is a gun. A gun kills people. You see it thousands of times during
I don't know if
an
you
hour
saw-
of Call of Duty.
I don't know if you saw it because I didn't ever get to see it, but it was on the internet. Do you remember when that guy went into that like Muslim wake or whatever, and then just killed a bunch of people, and he like posted it online? And he was like,
I saw a little bit of it.
well, imagine how many people saw that and how many people were unsensitized to that, and we're just like, oh well, fuck him. It just looks like a first-person shooter. Like it is what it is.
Even when you see videos of that.
With fucking Logan Paul's fucking guy hanging in Japan Forest, like yeah, it did get taken down because there was so many people that watched it because he was a child-based YouTube star,
Content creator, yeah.
but people were so many people watched it without even giving a shit. They were just like, oh whatever, like oh it's just a guy hanging in the forest, like oh fucking Logan Paul, I can't remember what it is, Phoenix, what's the Mavericks, something.
Maverick.
That's it.
And all of his Mavericks or whatever is
Seeing stuff
little
and
people
doing it in
followers.
real life are completely different, though. Like,
Yeah,
I
but I
don't
think
care how
the
many people you
long
kill on
line
Call of
there-
Duty. If you go fucking murk a deer or a little bunny rabbit, and you like go and pick it up after it, no, it's a completely different feeling.
Yeah.
I think it's still
That's
trying
true,
to steer people away from even entering that mindset, though. Like, I know hunting is a different story, and actually, hunting is a different story because technically, people have a completely different emotional side to them of a connection towards an animal than they do a human being, and you can see that.
That I kind of thought was, if this is true and this whole thing is like they only see what they want you to see, how did you get to see it on YouTube? Why did it ever get posted? Like how?
Well, see, this was posted 2 fucking days ago, or not 2 days ago, but like a week ago from the time that Sebastian said to watch it, kind of thing. So like
No,
Sebastian has only
it
just
was-
recently seen this.
it was like when they posted it, I watched it a day later because I found it.
You watched it? What?
Like a day after they posted it, and I had 5 million
I
views.
watched it this morning. Then how are they gonna let it be up that long if they're straight up exposing them and they see everything?
And that's
They're
the fucked up
Yeah.
thing. that
Because
comes
how
down
much
to a
worse
lot of
would it
these-
make them look if it just got taken down?
That's what I was just gonna say. Is this is the big thing that a lot of people can counter on is because, well, if somebody's caught in shit, are they gonna run away from it or are they gonna
How
fucking
many
try and
people have
attack
actually
it?
seen it, though, that it's gonna matter to? There's 7 billion people in the world. How many is it? Like, is it really gonna make an impact if the
Well, that's
200,000
what it means.
people that have seen it, it goes
No.
offline? That's a quarter of a million.
Millions.
Fuck it.
So
it
as
matter?
of right now, with this video still being so new, either it's
Okay,
so
it
let's
was
say
weird though.
let's say this
because-
is real. No. Hold on. Let's say this is real. Let's say that somebody is controlling everything that we see on the internet today, and we just don't know it. If this
Okay.
video came out and there was somebody who was doing this, they would probably shit their bricks. They'd be like, "Holy fuck! Okay, somebody cracked the code. Somebody figured it out. We've been doing this for 100 years, kind of thing. But somebody fucking figured it out. We've been brainwashing them, but now we can't."
But it's too.
So
it's honestly
there's
too
no
late.
way
We're
that
so,
that person
we're
is
so
gonna come
adapted
to
to
some-
living in this world, how it is.
It has 2.8 million views.
We need the media, dude.
2.8 million views, but do you see how many different versions have been released of that same video?
The original one,
there were
when I
about like
watched it,
5
a day
different
after it released,
YouTube
Sean,
channels who have already
had 5
released that
mil.
whole.
It had 5 mil. The one I watched had 5 mil. I went to send it to you guys, and I couldn't find the one I watched.
So it
was a
could have been
repost,
deleted.
and it had a mil.
Okay. So it could have been deleted and then reposted.
So exactly that. Let's run into the factor that maybe the person who created this one, let's say it's that fucker who was the stuntman, because he's in it a lot. I don't know if he made the document series or if they were the one that found him first and was like, you got to talk lots about it.
I think he was the main guy.
So let's say the stuntman was like, yeah, let's make this, let's fucking publish it because we figured our facts, this is real shit. They published it. Somebody else recorded it after watching it. That original one got taken down. Somebody republished. Now this has been republished 5 different times, but nobody at that top level can catch up and keep bringing these off the internet.
So
let's say that's real. Let's say
Once
somebody's
something's
chasing
on the
now and they're
internet,
like, fuck, this has got to come down.
And
This has
that's
got to come
another
down.
thing that they're fucked with, dude. Once something's on the internet, it's always on there. Especially when it has over even like 1,000 views or like 150,000 views. Somebody always records it and keeps it. Like the internet's like I don't even want to know how big it is, how many things are in it. But every picture you've taken.
All you have to do is basically, you just need a URL link from a website. If we were on YouTube right now and we wanted to grab one of our own videos and use it for personal use, we just record it through the link, through a weird fucking file to MP4 converter online, and you can have the video. Basically yourself. There's so many simple ways.
Yeah, you have it saved.
So, who knows if this conspiracy theory of the puppeteer master controlling the entertainment world and only releasing what they want us to see, if it's real, then that might be the thing, and eventually we'll see no word of this Out of Shadows video. But if
what about the democratic part of the internet? Like think about like SoundCloud rappers and content creators and people who are making stuff on their own. Like no one's controlling that.
So that's no, but that's the thing, is nobody controls those people. But once they become holy shit, they're becoming a figure. Somebody up here is like, keep an eye on them. We got to pick him up and we got to make sure that he stays straight. That's basically what they did.
Who the fuck was Lil Nas X before he put out Old Town Road? And then it started to pick up friction on TikTok. And then I imagine that somebody up above was like, hey, if you want to be
like Hollywood,
we'll collect you and
be a big star, like do this.
The producer was being told by Joe Dandy to go pick this kid up because he's going to be the next.
And here's another point: do you really think Lil Nas said to like the directors of like Old Town Road or like Panini the music video? Do you think he was like, I want it like that?
No.
Do you know? Have you watched that? How stupidly weird it is.
And that's another thing that they talk about, like in this video, right? It's just like nothing that these guys want, or nothing that these guys are showing or releasing is what they originally want. Basically, it's somebody else telling them that it's going to happen this way. All their YouTube videos, the big people that are doing these YouTube videos, like I guarantee even Will Smith, like he's big enough and he seems like he's on his own, but somebody's got to be watching him because he's huge, and they talk about him in that video.
Oh fuck, what was it? Oh, I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Go ahead.
I got nothing right now. Derek, do you think you're going to watch this video even after today of us talking about it, or are you just going to let it slide over?
I don't know.
He's not going to watch it.
Even the way that why songs are put into movies in certain places, or even the lyrics in songs. Like if you really look at that, not really look at them, because sometimes it's just written how it is. But at the same time, sometimes it's written so that it seems like there's a
message of some
sort. A little bit of propaganda spiced in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and another angle you can look at it is
party in the USA.
Kind of
it's
on the internet.
USA, we should move here, kind of thing like that. It's just that kind of shit.
Something that raised a red flag for me. At first, I was like, "Oh shit! This is more proof." But then I thought, maybe this is a red flag because remember in it, they pulled up a letter, a document that was signed, and it basically said that the FBI created the word conspiracy and the whole, like, I don't know, the definition of what a conspiracy theory was. And the reason that the FBI created that was so that nobody could come to the FBI with their direct, basically, force of entry of like, hey, we got full facts on you of you doing this. They would always call it, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. And apparently the FBI created that fucking terminology. And there's a letter that you can pull up and ask for, like, online and get it sent to you. And it's a legal document that the FBI created that word, that definition of that meaning of conspiracy theories. And so I don't know, like, one, the reason it's a red flag is if that was the case, again, why would they allow a valuable piece of information? That is one of their brainwash techniques. That is saying that, you know, we have control of you, basically. Sean and Josh, do you want to play Valorant later? Julian, that's a decision. Maybe. We'll see.
Julian's just a little hog on this Valorant train, isn't he?
Hey, Valorant's good. Valorant's really good. Where was I just at?
Doesn't seem like anything special.
Conspiracy theory?
It's like someone said, hey, why don't we take CSGO and Overwatch and put them together?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Since this game has been released, that's been the meme. That's been the thing that even Riot Games has talked about. Yes. Those two games created Valorant. But, going back to this real quick, if you think about it, that's pretty crazy. Because if that's real, if the FBI created the fact that there is
not really.
no
People
real...
talk about the definitions of terrorism all the time. The definition of terrorism has expanded greatly in the last decade.
Yeah, it's expanded greatly in the last decade. But the factor of if the FBI, let's just say, Derek, you got caught for something like stealing, and you were like, no, it wasn't stealing. And then you made up some fucking word on the spot, and people started believing you, and you were like, that's what it is. And it's like, that's morally right. That was ethically proper. That's my new word for it. That's what that case was. And so everybody was like, okay, so from now on, every time somebody pulled that move, that would be that word. Technically, that's what the FBI did, because every time somebody attacked the FBI with like, oh, you guys have this hidden, or you guys do tests like this, or you guys rape children, they're like, that's just a conspiracy theory. When they were the ones way
that was another thing that video. The pizza thing.
Oh fuck. Yeah, but that was like a whole pedophile child ring.
But that was
like Alex Jones getting banned from YouTube for his conspiracy theories because he released too many FBI secrets. I can talk, Josh. Don't worry. I know English.
Oh, cool.
I'm just kidding. I love you.
What kind of chair do you have? What kind of chair do you have?
An office chair?
Regular office chair?
Yeah.
You don't have like a fancy DX racer setup for your shit?
Pretty sure we've been through this in another episode. Like, I want a new chair. I want a DX. Yeah, we actually have, because I remember Sean talking to me about it. So either you just don't pay attention.
I wasn't.
So, yeah, Pizzagate was talking about how there's like a bunch of people, basically the whole Epstein thing. Basically a whole big, like, elite group of pedophiles. Because everybody was, like, on Epstein's private jet log, like, on his book that says who's been on the plane and whatnot. And there's, like, all the Clintons and all that kind of shit, and, like, Prince Harry, like, a bunch of really high-class people.
I kind of just clued in that was Cody who mentioned that in the comments.
I said Cody. I didn't say DreamX Dynasty.
Yeah, wasn't paying attention to that. Thanks for the follow, Cody.
I don't understand pedophiles in general. It seems like such a weird thing. Like, it doesn't make sense.
It's so fucked up. It is definitely not make sense.
But even just from a logical perspective, like, why would you want to fuck something that's not ready to fuck yet?
Because a lot of people like that.
A lot of
feeling
people,
like they're in
But
control.
it doesn't even work very good. Like,
You've tried it?
no, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not people's bodies when they're underage aren't built for sex yet, so it doesn't make sense.
That's why we're saying it's fucked up and it's super weird. It doesn't make sense to any of us.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
No, it is fucked up.
But it's
you know
impractical
what?
as well.
The world's fucked up. There's
But
a
it's
lot of
impractical as
impractical
well.
shit that happens, Derek. Everyone does impractical shit, and like that is like one of the more impractical things, and it's probably the most fucked up thing you can do, just about. But you know what? Like some people are fucked, man. Like there's been some like look at for Nova Scotia. That's impractical. Who the fuck does that?
Yeah, some guy
Feels me
dresses
to
up as a
steal a
fucking
cop
cop,
car and kill.
dresses up as a cop, steals a cop car, and then goes and kills a bunch of fucking
You know what I
people.
don't understand is why he killed people in a random little fucking Nova Scotia backwoods town instead of Halifax, which was like 25 clicks away.
People are
Sometimes
fucked up.
Like a
People-
big ass city. He could have wrecked way more fucking shit.
Maybe he had it out.
people's bizarre
Because there's more cops there.
clicks.
Yeah, that's what I actually thought about. Is he went to like a bunch of different towns and like shot 20 people before the cops even figured out what the fuck was going on.
Did you guys hear about King Jong-un or whatever?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
fucked
they were
up
saying that
medical
he was
reports.
Yeah, they were saying
He's,
he was like in
dying.
danger after some surgical
Surgery.
shit.
I've seen all the fuck. At first it was weird because I started seeing these memes and it was like
At the same
Kim
time,
Jong-
they let that
Kim
get out.
Jong-un's
That's North
surgeon,
Korea.
like,
They don't let
leaving-
shit come in. They don't let shit get out. So
No.
how would that?
You know what's really
that
weird
go?
though? I don't know actually anybody personally who knows anybody who has coronavirus or had coronavirus.
There's a guy at the golf course who knew people like in a different town. I forget where it was, but apparently there's a town close to Dawson, like 4 hours or 5 hours from here, that's infested with it.
Okay, but not personally know them.
No.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Personally, no.
I don't
fucking-
think any of us personally know anybody.
So you think it's fake?
I don't think it's fake. I just think it's not as common.
new
Where's all
conspiracy
these
theories.
cases?
Coronavirus is fake.
No, I just mean like, where are all these sick people?
It's a
I
plot
don't
to
know
kill
any of them.
everybody
You
off.
don't know any of them. Where's all the sick people?
I don't know.
They're in different
Not
countries.
in our fucking
Canada's
houses
not
where
even
we've
that
been
bad.
hidden
We're
the
just
last
taking
4
precautions.
fucking weeks. What?
I think that's one of those things where like you don't realize how bad it actually is until you see it, and like we don't see it because this just hasn't hit here as bad because it's smaller populations.
Oh, for sure. There's only 37 million people in Canada, and there's only like, I think like 100,000 cases total.
In
So like
Canada?
that's
Still a hefty chunk of people.
it's really not though if you think about it. If 1 million people out of 35 is like, Sean, what's the percentage on that?
Okay, not even that, but Derek,
So
just
in Canada
imagine
right now we have
looking-
a confirmed 38,422 people have the coronavirus, but only 1,834 have died.
Still 38,000 out of 37 million. That's like
38,000 is half of Grand Prairie.
But out of 37 million, that's a very small percentage.
Well, let me give you this for fact, Derek. This has continued to climb up. Like here, I will try and show you real quick. This is the. Oh, can I flip this one? Fuck. Oh yeah, right there. That's basically the graph of it growing, and it still hasn't
Only
peaked.
going up. It doesn't
It's
go down.
still exactly.
Okay, you
Like,
guys.
there is-
But look though.
it
but
goes
look, though.
down for like a
0
little bit. It's like, oh
points.
shit, we're back.
When it goes down, it's people fucking dying off.
Hey, look at
It's
the
like,
Yeah,
oh, that one
literally.
wiped out. Let's wait for next week.
37,000 out of 37 million is 0.0001% of the total population even have
And-
coronavirus.
And here, also look at this. Pulling this up, Quebec has 20,000 of the confirmed cases. Alberta only has 3,000 of those confirmed cases. British Columbia only 1,700. So do you think?
Quebec are stupid.
Well, yeah, no, exactly. So no wonder we're not sitting here freaking the fuck out as others are. People in Quebec probably are freaking out because they're like, okay, like Sue from down the street actually just caught this shit. Like we got fucking locked down.
Yeah, and 20,000 people is still a lot. That's a small town. That's
It's a small town in Quebec. That's fucking
Yeah.
wiping them. That's a lot of people. And
It's bad.
yeah, with that
Yes,
graph
but
showing, which
scheme of
there's
things,
no,
it's definitely not a lot, but in when you put it into like small perspective, like because you've always grown up in a small town, that would be your small town gone, white, completely gone, and all surrounding it.
Do you know Florida is opening their beaches right now?
Yep.
Yeah, I seen that. And people were everywhere.
Americans are idiots. We've always known that.
They just put sand.
No,
Sorry, Julian.
I like some Americans. I just think a lot of them are stupid.
As a whole, their government is so dumb. So dumb.
What were you about to say with the sand?
They covered our skate park with sand so that we can't.
There's the same thing in Venice Beach. I don't
They covered the skate park with sand?
Sand. Yeah, because you can't fucking ride with sand.
How are they going to get it off?
Well, they would just go back on and do the same thing, either with the Bobcat or whatever they've done. Yeah, so you just go Bobcat, scoop it out. There's going to be like that little left bit that you can't get. You just scoop it off into the grass. Our skate park isn't huge either.
Just hose it off.
But it's not like sand.
I have a skate park not too far from me, but I don't think there's any way that they could get a machine in there to fuck up the skate park. Because it's in a weird position. It's on this weird hill that you got to walk up a path to get to it.
And it's so fucking dumb because they did it. Like, they just went ahead and fucking did it. And then they, a bunch of people in the comments, because they had said they were doing it, or like our mayor put it on Facebook and was like, oh yeah, we're going to do this. People were commenting like, oh yeah, this is fucking bullshit. Like, my kid goes there, like, he goes there by himself, like, at late at night, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's just him. There's no chance of him catching it. He's just outside riding by himself. And you guys want people to go outside, but you're like, you can have 100 people in a grocery store, but you can't have fucking a kid at a skate park. And so then they said, right after they fucking did it, well, if the kids can figure out a way to maintain social distance rules, then yeah, we could figure something out. Like, then why the fuck would you do it in the first place? Just like...
No doubt, put up a fucking sign and say, stay 6 feet away from each other. There will be...
If you're riding skateboards and you're
post up a police car.
Anyway.
Post up a fucking police car if you have to. Yeah, that's just stupid though. Because like, there's the same thing here, and like if I go to the skate park, it's a park and everything. There's a skate park up top of the hill, and there's signs, and the park is closed off. Like there's that caution tape around everything, and it just says like stay 6 feet away from everybody. And as you go up the path, there's kind of like these Post-its, just like, you know, if you're out and about, stay this 6 feet away from anybody and don't talk to anybody. Like, there's just those warning signs. It doesn't say you're restricted in these areas or anything like that, but
how hard is it to grab a fucking can of spray paint and go and fucking spray paint little dots every fucking 6 feet on the pavement? Like, you have to cover the fucking thing in sand. Like, that's a fucking hard enough job to get off now. You fucking
yeah.
Well, even closing trails and stuff is stupid anyway, because if you're like walking in like a nature park or a trail or something and you're coming into contact with other people, like, you're doing it wrong anyway. You went out there to be alone with nature or with some friends or something.
Yeah, I don't get the whole fact of shutting trails and stuff like that down, but
like, I understand if you're like waiting at the skate, like not waiting at the skate park, but like, you know what I mean, like waiting to do your time.
Yeah.
But like, when you're riding around, there's no chance that you're ever within 6 feet of somebody, or you're gonna fucking crash into them.
Yeah, for sure.
Even in our skate park in Dawson, like, I would get it if that type of shit was pulled in a city. There is probably 50 plus people that can show up to a skate park in a day. Sure. In Dawson, though,
people can have is like 15.
Yeah, and that is like if 15 people are there, and if that's the case, there are probably groups of this one, and this one, which is 5, 5, and 5. And at that point, those 5 people in each group can separate each other.
Yeah, exactly. You have 5 on each side of the pyramids, and then people are just going down and like swapping sides. So there's like a constant 5 people, but there's 30 feet of fucking concrete there. Just put down a fucking thing and let people do their trick and go between the 6 feet of people. Like, fuck, it's not too hard. Wait your turn.
Just like block off the top of the quarter pipe so nobody sits there, and then that's it.
Because people wait their turn anyways. You're not doing fucking 4 people going down the pyramid at once, or else you're gonna fucking crash.
Well, that's the biggest issue right now, is that nobody has fucking common sense.
No, it's a fucking... I don't get it.
People are stupid. But I mean, like, the coronavirus also played, like, if you I've seen those things of people posting those pictures of, like these other viruses coming through and killing off millions of people, and our world and the population. Nobody freaked out to this extent before, right? But now that the internet
Because the population wasn't huge.
Well, no, not even that though. It's just that, like right now with the coronavirus, it's not spreading nearly as fast as these other viruses that we've seen in the past. But because the internet is so big and globally impacting as it is, everybody jumps on the horses to thinking that this is the next virus that's going to kill everybody.
Well, so that was
also global shipping compared to back in the day.
Well, no, but the thing with coronavirus is that it's like, coronavirus has a very like not super high, but it has like a high exchange rate. So like, lots of people can get it fast, but not a lot of people die from it. Versus Ebola was like hard to get, but then
if you got it, you were dead.
Fucking dead. Like you had an out. You were gone.
What they really don't want to happen is for this to mutate.
What? Well, yeah, they don't want it to mutate, but it already has mutated like 3 different times.
No?
There's 3 different types of this shit.
No?
I haven't heard anything.
I don't know. I heard something about there being 3 different types of this virus already. There's like corona type A, B, and C.
Hepatitis.
Basically. If you get A, you're dead.
Which one is the worst hepatitis?
Sebastian's like, I just gotta double check I don't have that one again.
Yeah, which one is the worst one though?
Hep C is like the one that's like no big deal. Like everybody gets it.
Which is the one that like is really big when you go travel? Hep A? Or is that C?
Yeah. No, C is you get it from sex.
I think it's B.
A and B are from food and stuff.
So like when you go on continental travel or trips or whatever, and people are like, "Oh, you gotta get your shots."
Yeah, if they don't have the ice cubes, have the ice holes through them, then don't drink the water, or you'll get
When I was growing up, dead ass, I thought hepatitis and herpes were basically the same thing. Because people are like, "You gotta get your hepatitis shots." I was like, "Oh, sick! I'll be safe for herpes."
No.
Jesus Christ, Josh.
Then there was a point in life where somebody told me that herpes were a totally different thing and to very carefully watch out for those fucking things.
Yeah, Josh, how do you not have an STD yet at this point?
I don't know. And we don't got to talk about it because at this point it's still on good fucking luck and faith. So thank you, Lord Jesus, for all the good things you have given me so far.
Well, how often do you raw dog it? That's the real question.
Well, that's the thing. Well, Jesus Christ, this is a lot to talk about. It depends on the woman. We'll say that.
But you do it though.
Wow. You have those days.
If she's a very special
those days. If she's a special woman, sure. That's what we tell them in the moment. It's okay. We don't have to worry about that, Derek. So, conspiracy theories. Derek, I think you should give it a watch.
Nobody's dead. X, Tupac, Juice WRLD, Lil Peep.
They're all just chilling on an island somewhere.
Everybody's chilling, just vibing out with their millions of dollars on Jeff.
Quarantined early, bro.
So here, let's actually talk about this real quick. What are some of the biggest ones that you've heard that piss you off? And they're just like, that's fucking common sense. That is stupid. Like all these dead people living on an island. Yeah, and Derek, I gotta give you that as well. That's a little.
You are fucking gay, bro.
Emma did it.
Sebastian, PG, you gotta be nice. There's like 13,000 different genders. Don't just be saying gay shit, okay? Somebody's gonna be offended.
Julian says I always raw dog it. Well.
Man, the last thing Julian needs is a fucking kid.
Cheers to that,
He can barely afford weed for himself.
Savage, Sebastian.
Can you imagine if Julian, like Kate would have the worst life if she had a kid with Julian right now, because Julian does not have his shit together.
Sebastian, be nice. He's our only viewer. He's our only viewer. Don't
just opened up a new fight for Julian and Kate.
Julian Julian's one of the smartest guys I know. I'm just saying he cannot have like. Same with
Why
Sean
the fuck
Raw Dog
won't
and had a
Julian
kid.
come
Like,
on our
Sean is
stream?
not
He would
ready
love
for
this
kids.
shit. He just watches from afar.
Dude,
'Cause he's
I don't think anybody in the moment of like, unless they're actually about to say, I want to have a kid, I don't think they're ready to have a kid. They never.
I think that Derek has asked why Julian hasn't been in the stream on every single
Did he ask
episode.
that again?
Yes.
That one
What?
blew right over my head. You're fucking lucky I missed that one, Derek.
Just join us.
Why doesn't Julian just join the stream, guys?
God damn it.
Eric,
he's
you
just
look pissed off.
real
You look
fan.
like you're getting mad at us. Like you're sitting there
He
with your
is.
fucking like.
Do you know why?
gonna
Do
be
you
a
know why
teacher
he's mad?
look when
No,
you're-
no. Do you know why? It's because he's in the wrong tonight. He missed his homework. You know, he doesn't really have a full inning on this episode tonight.
Bad
He has
boy.
been called out again for wanting to get Julian in the stream for the millionth time. Actually, for the 8th time, because this is episode 8.
And nobody's fucking answered Josh's question. What is the biggest conspiracy theories?
Yes.
Bush did
Thank you.
9/11.
That's definitely probably.
I feel
one
like
of the
that wasn't a
biggest
very
ones.
big
Assassin.
one. Okay, what did you say? Sean?
I said, what about the JFK assassination?
What about it?
Yeah,
Like, I don't really know much about it.
Pyramids are built by aliens.
Some people say that his head came completely off, and other people say that he just got shot.
Oh no, the dude just got shot. That didn't-
Dude, if you get hit in the dome with a fucking 30 cal, your head's gone.
Really?
Yeah,
I read-
that shit's gonna
You know, I can
explode like
see
a
that.
watermelon.
I read a thing where somebody saw his head come clean off.
Yeah. Okay. No, and I could.
I don't think it would come off, it would just explode like a watermelon. Like, he got shot with the Carcano, for fuck's sakes.
But at the same
Yeah, no, I
time,
could see the head explosion.
what if they pulled some kind of raw shit like, oh, I can't remember what that movie's called, but they get a guy that's like a really crazy good certified sniper, and then they give him a
They
gun
gotta
that does
shoot like 1,000
give him-
miles away.
they give him a gun that like works or whatever. He's supposed to shoot the person, and then they just fucking shoot the guy right fucking there, clean the gun off or whatever, or like leave their gun with his handprints on it, and then they leave the building. But I can't remember
movie was
what
that?
it was. I think it had Mark Wahlberg. He didn't put the firing pin inside of his weapon because he was allowed to use his own weapon, and so then he clicks the thing, but then somebody else shoots the guy because it was like a double bullet kind of thing, just in case he were to miss. And then they went to kill him, but he turns around and shoots them or whatever. Like gets
I
all
remember
that.
he was supposed to get framed basically.
Yeah.
He did get framed.
Well, yeah, he did get framed, but he proved himself innocent in the end of it.
Yeah, because he was like bang, and then there was nothing because there was no firing pin in it.
Well, have you guys seen that one where, like, the guy, like, gets framed for killing the president, too?
No.
I think so.
Yeah, it's called, like, Angel Has Fallen.
No, I think that's a different movie.
No, it's not.
Okay.
White House Down is a different movie.
Oh
Okay, but Derek, you right before this all, you said that
no, it's a different because there's Olympus has fallen as well, and
there's
London,
a lot of shit that has been fallen.
and it's all the same guy. It's all Gerard Butler.
Yeah. Everything's falling, Derek. But hey, before we got into this, you said aliens built the pyramids. Is that like a conspiracy theory that pisses you off, or you genuinely believe that?
I believe it.
Dude, if you look at, I seen something like they were in those like old ass Egyptian pyramids, and there was like an electrical system, like a
Yeah, they didn't have the
it was a
technology.
whole-
Oh no, it was
wasn't
yeah, it was like
ours.
they used what was it, a big fucking vase of some sort, and then they put copper in the bottom or something, and then covered something in gold, and then they like run weirdly wires into it to charge something. Yeah, it was to create light,
and light.
or some form of electricity. It was kind of cool the way that they did it. It was just this little generator, basically, made out of a
Part of the
vase.
conspiracy goes that, like, how the fuck did they make perfectly square cubes that make up the pyramids with stone tools that they couldn't have possibly measured?
Bro, have you not seen those motherfucking
It's so
primitive bastards
easy,
on
dude. They've been making bricks for years.
All they have is wood, and they sit there and go. And they make
Packed
fucking
the sound in a cube.
bro. They make perfect squares. It is retarded. It is nice.
How did they get the sandstone there? It's not from Egypt, bro. They brought it. Same as Stonehenge. Also,
the
not
only
from
reason-
England where it is. They fucking got it there somehow from the coast of Spain.
Stonehenge also
How the fuck?
Stonehenge also has a weird thing where it's like if it's the summer solstice or like something like that, it shines perfectly through something. I can't remember what the fuck it is.
Yeah, it does do that.
I would agree with this. Okay, hold on. Aliens open up a whole different conspiracy. First of all, not just the pyramids were built by aliens, but the fact that aliens exist.
Well, do you
That's
guys
a
believe?
whole different
Well,
conspiracy.
okay. I
Who
believe
knows?
exist.
Aliens should be controlling the media.
Do you
What are
guys
those?
believe aliens exist like wholeheartedly?
What are the
I
big
would
heads?
say that there's a different life form in some
Yeah, I
way.
wouldn't call them aliens. I'd say there's millions, billion, like an unlimited amount of life in this universe, dude.
The
We're
fact
teeny.
that we live in something that is so big, man. Like
And constantly growing.
actually, if you sit down and think about space, there's some shit to think about. And like the people who
But we
study
all
that
agree
shit,
that we're
good
not
on you.
alone, right?
Oh no, I would 100. Well, 100% is a lot of percent. I would give almost my all to say that aliens again, going with Sebastian, something and a whole bunch of other somethings are out there.
Oh, it'd be arrogant to think you're the only form of life out here.
Oh, the fact that we were able to be created by something and that we are living beings on just one planet and this place is massive. No, there's no way that we are the only things.
Nothing would ever come here because if they did have the capabilities to get here, we don't, and so we wouldn't be able to take on the shit that they have. Like the amount of technology and the amount of progression that they had, obviously, to get to where we're like cavemen to them. We're not civilized enough, and so they'd never come to us. That's the problem, or not problem, but that's the thing that people say.
Or,
And that's the biggest reason as to why we've
No.
only ever seen these guys in the air kind of thing. Like we've only had footage of these spaceships flying off, is because these guys are just checking us out, realizing
they
that
come
we
to
are
steal our
absolutely no, because we are nothing to them. If they
No,
can
but our
fucking
gold
come
and
here
metal
and
stuff.
visit us without us realizing what the fuck they are, they're clearly 1,000 times smarter and more progressed than we ever were, and we will ever be in 1,000
Why
years
wouldn't they
from now.
come steal our like metal and like wood and stuff to make new spaceships?
Because if
They
these
probably
guys
don't
have
need it.
something.
What if they
Yeah,
have that
we have-
fucking 9 light years away?
Exactly. We have these conspiracies that I have actually seen like different, I don't know, people have captured images of what these capsules or spaceships look like. Some of this shit looks so intricate to the point where there are no propellers, there are no vent systems, there is nothing to thrust this machine in the air. They would have to be working with something that they have been using and crafting with a material that we have no idea what is. Or
Don't even have.
exactly. So what for the factor, like Sean said, if they're able to come here and just become unseen or unknown, and they have come here throughout years, even through ancient times, there's, drawings of aliens being on Earth or photographs of this and that. These aliens probably have now come to the point and realization of, these guys have nothing. Our planet has much better than these guys have to offer. That kind of thing. We could be these stupid aliens that these things were trying to find for millions of years, and they finally found it, and it's like, wow,
You're like,
this is
wow,
what
these
we
guys
fucking
suck.
found. This does fucking suck. That could be it though,
Mhm.
because we live in something that is huge, just ginormous. It's weird to think about. It's cool. Shit.
You know what I think about sometimes? What other forms of life on different universes could be like? Could you imagine if there was a planet 9,000 times the size of Earth, and the atmosphere was huger, and the beings that lived on it were 30 feet tall, and they were just
Well, that's the
huge
thing, though,
compared
man.
to us?
Think about what our world was before we were here. There weren't humans. There were no people. There were animals. And eventually some weird shit happened, and this mutation of this and that happened, and there were animals to these weird humans to become who we are now. So these weird
there's
and generations
there's
of
a
time
movie.
moving on.
Or if you were to
There's
go
a movie out there.
then yeah, there was Adam and Eve or whatever. But
Sean, did you watch that with me in my old basement of like the house on like by this
What's
like
that?
elementary school?
Which one?
It was like like how humans were creative, like created scientific way. Like it was like it started off millions of years ago, like in a pond, and we were just a fucking cell, and then like we evolved into a fish, into a monkey, then into like humans.
What are those big ass heads called? Like that are just like they're just the heads.
Easter Island heads.
Easter Island heads, yeah.
Do you think that they were like because they have the bodies on them, right? Like people discovered that they had the bodies on the heads.
Yeah, they dug underneath.
Not just the heads. Do you think that they were standing there originally and then through erosion and just like wind and everything built up shit enough to cover up to only their heads? Or do you think they got placed inside the ground? I don't understand.
I think they got placed because the idea that they could all be eroded at the equal amount of rate, no fucking way.
Like, yeah, but how
all
far
sticking out the same amount? No.
How far apart are they? Are they all on one island, like in a circle? Like
they're on Easter Island.
They're on Easter Island. There's a structure that is circular, and then there are some heads that are kind of just placed sporadically around the island. And so, people thought to believe that there was inhabitants of different people that lived on that island at once, and they created these statues and worshiped these statues, and that circle was a ritual place. Or there's other stories where aliens came here and they placed these heads in the ground for a different ritual reason. Or there were other people from a different civilization who just showed up to this island with these things on a fucking boat or something, and they dug them into the ground. And there are so many different theories of why these heads are there and how they have gotten there. Which?
What do you guys think about cryptids?
I don't know what that is.
Quite frankly, don't even know what that is.
Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, Yeti.
Oh.
I don't believe them.
Huh?
So I would say that I believe them, only to the point that it would have had to have been years and years and years ago. And I only believe Bigfoot is a person that we know today as somebody who is extremely hairy. Somebody obviously just was really fucking hairy, or there was a fucking civilization of hairy people that lived in the forest that people never knew, and then they died off. If you look at weird mutation or genetic... Yeah, I know. I'm just starting to fix it.
Oh, okay.
If you look at just the way that people are born today and the weird genetic mutations that happen, like people are born with big arms. People are born with, less skin on their face, or dwarfism. People are born with dwarfism.
There's people who are huge.
So if you look at these stories... Small. If you look at these stories who say there were giants back in the day or dwarfs back in the day, that's midgets and fucking 7 foot tall people. What is the difference in that? They could have been different. Sure, it could have been 9 feet tall and 3 feet, but you don't know, because now the way that our genetics have turned us, we see 7 feet and as small as 5 feet, 4 feet.
That's just how evolution works. It would be 9 feet tall people obviously don't live long enough because their bodies aren't meant to grow 9 feet. And so through thousands and thousands of years of people being 9 feet fucking tall, then eventually it got smaller and smaller and smaller, because you don't need to be 9 feet tall because you gained technology like weapons and shit like that. So you don't need to be 9 feet tall to wrestle down a fucking bear. You can shoot it down. So you, through thousands and thousands of years, instead of being 9 feet as a regular, or like
people stopped becoming so active and their bodies stopped growing and performing as a 9 foot person. They became 7 feet people, then 5 feet, 6 foot people.
What do you guys think about stuff that's like survived like millennia, that like maybe there's like woolly mammoths in like Siberia or like the Yukon or something?
So you're basically saying hidden extinct animals.
Yeah.
Or so that one's a hard one, because it kind of goes into the factor of, do you believe in that there's mermaids, woolly mammoths, and Bigfoots? Because we have already traveled and traversed much of this planet except for the ocean. The last thing that I would really say that somebody has yet to pull the full truth as to whether it exists or not are sea creatures, because there are
can't go that deep. It takes so long to get deep in water because the pressure, the amount of water.
There's places in the Amazon rainforest that have tribes who have never met another group of humans before. They're uncontacted. You think there's anybody who's ever been like? There's probably places in like the middle of Russia that nobody's ever been to.
So okay, so maybe in some weird way there are still unknown animals, but I think that the ones that we knew that we think are gone are still gone. Because even like you just said, there are still communities and civilizations that haven't connected with other civilizations. But that would be the same way as saying somebody in Canada has not claimed or ever walked through that piece of land or that forest ever before or traversed that mountain. But then you get to the top of this mountain and there's some dude and a family living there who's been living there for generations and generations. Sure, that can exist. But I don't think that an animal of some sort could still exist, because even if that animal was living somewhere in that distance, that growth of that animal would still come back. So if woolly mammoths,
animals do traverse, animals go around, like animals move.
Absolutely. So if woolly mammoths were still alive and there was one still living and another still living, and they managed to still be together, that growth would still continue, and eventually somebody would be like, holy shit, woolly mammoths didn't go extinct. They would still be here. But we would have found that out within that first little bit of saying they're extinct.
What do you think about like ones that are stuck, like Loch Ness Monster? Like, do you think like it like could live in the lake for however long?
Again, I think it goes back to the way that people evolved, right? I would say that there were things that maybe existed, but somehow, some way they died off or something happened.
What about the giant squid? That shit was real, and they proved it.
So
Yeah, I watched that.
And that proves
is that
exactly that goes back.
We can't go deep in the water because there's trillions and trillions of tons of water on you. Like to go down, let's say 10 miles in water, it takes you 3 hours because you can't just go whoop. You have to go whoop and then let the pressure kind of like depressurize.
You just go like crunch.
Yeah, or else you go because there's trillions.
Play with a whole bunch of different valves.
And because they don't have the technology or the ability to yet to go deeper than, let's say, 100 miles into the water, they can't. And even the brightest lights won't penetrate enough
like darkness because they're so dark. It absorbs that light and dissipates.
So you guys think there's some crazy shit in there too? Because I definitely
would.
Let alone even if you did have enough light down there, if you somehow got enough light to be down there, once there's light down there, all the fucking fish are gone. All the fish are gone because why the fuck would they come to the light if they've never seen it before?
There are millions of different species in the oceans that like we have not even seen, dude. Like I'm pretty sure there's a percentage of what humans have explored of the ocean, 5%. And I'm honestly pretty sure it's below 10%.
It's 5.
So if you think about that, 95% of water is undiscovered, is unknown.
And our Earth is 97% water.
So to think about that and to ask me whether or not there are still living extinct animals elsewhere, I would say the only remaining ones are on the sea.
Did you guys
know that water?
Did you guys know that we know more about the surface of Mars than we do about Earth's oceans?
Yeah, we know more
yes.
than we do about our own waters, yeah.
Isn't that fucked up?
That's why, again, like it goes to, I do believe that there's something in the galaxy because it's unknown. I do believe that there's something in our waters because we don't know.
The Megalodon. What do you guys think about that?
What did you just fucking call him? Megalodon?
Megalodon.
Megalodon,
I think is
if 100% real.
I would say he's real, and the reason that I think he's real is because of the way that he has portrayed his stories. He's always been seen in the deepest depths of waters. He's never actually been like up on a shoreline or a coastline of some sort. And exactly that. Anything else that's in these fucking deep depths that we've never seen before.
It's smaller than a fucking 30-ton shark.
Exactly. If this big behemoth bitch is living down there, he's got 95% of this ocean water that we've never seen before. That he's like, hello, bitches. I'm eating
like he's never seen us. He's never seen us before.
He's
Doesn't
seen a
even know
couple
what
of
the
us,
fuck
but
we are.
he's eating them.
Yeah, dude.
He's
Like
eating the whole
whoever
boat.
he's met.
Well, we've never
You
seen
seen a
like
boat once?
we've never
It's
seen like
this-
dead whales for no reason though.
No, but that doesn't matter,
They
man. If
sink in
this thing
water.
is so exactly, they would fill up with this water and they'll sink.
And they'd sink to the
These-
bottom. You can't go to the bottom of the ocean, idiot.
If this thing is
That
really
shit
as big
eats
as
it, dude.
these myths or legends say it is, this thing is fucking huge. And
What do you
it
guys
is
think about
found
Atlantis?
everything.
What do you guys think
About
about
what?
Atlantis?
Okay, which Atlantis? The real one or the mythological one?
What do you mean? There is no.
Well, there was a real Atlantis that's just basically like sunk underwater. It was an old civilization that they just found.
No,
It's
never
it's
been
the
to. What are you talking
Atlantis that people are talking about now. Sean will try and pull it up right now. It's a weird thing. It was just like they couldn't deem it a civilization, but there was statues and like structures as if somebody had lived on it. But they said it was an island that is now sunk. So whoever was there wasn't living underwater in Atlantis. They were just living and then they sunk. And civilization disappeared. Which I strongly believe that one.
There was like a whole bunch of people statues, and then there's like one big kind of like
No, I'm talking like legit Atlantis. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Like you're talking, there is a civilization way deep in the depths of the water.
Yeah, Atlantis.
I don't believe that.
but at the same
And
time
the
like
reason
Atlantis.
the reason I don't believe that.
Island and shit. So then, do you believe in Greek gods and shit like that?
What did Chandra say?
Real Atlantis, or like your rendition of real
Mythological pathway.
has like Poseidon and like mermaids and shit.
It is meant to be a portrayed mythological world, basically.
What do you guys
It was
think
a
about
god.
the like center of the earth thing though? Like
You
I
can't go.
believe, okay, dude.
a
No,
hollow
dude.
earth with
I
like,
believe.
dinosaurs and shit in it.
You can't go
I
deep
think,
across the earth
honestly-
and fucking burn. It's so hot.
After the Bernie stuff.
There is no after the Bernie stuff, bro. The fucking it gets burnier and burnier.
No, the middle is solid metal.
Yeah, I do believe that the middle is solid, but I don't believe that it's a solid hollow center. I think it's a solid center because of all those metals, basically, that have created this solid structure. And then it's this heat that's packed around it, and then it's a crusty surface. I think that science in the Earth's ways is correct. But then again, Sean is also correct. We have never had the technology, I don't think, to ever like prove that something can drill to the center of the Earth and say, "Oh, that's like solid. We're stuck. Like we can't keep going to China."
No, I was fucking right. It gets hotter and
right?
hotter.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought. Wait,
No,
who's right? You are right.
Yes, the
So the
crust.
center is still magma.
No,
The
it's
crust is 0 to 700 degrees Celsius. The mantle, which is underneath the crust, is 870 to 4,400 degrees Celsius. Then the outer core is 4,400 to 6,100 degrees Celsius, and the inner core, which is the absolute center of the Earth, which is solid metal, is 7,000 to 8,000 degrees Celsius. It
Okay.
gets hotter and hotter.
Yeah,
But
see,
so
I
it's still
believe that.
metal though.
I believe that
Yeah, but
Sean
if you
said
think
that it was.
about it, do you know why it gets so hot? Is because it's all getting held in by gravity. And I mean,
Yeah,
think
pushed
about
in.
how big the
Everything gets
fucking Earth
pushed
is.
in, pushed in. Everything getting pushed in is creating friction. So even though it's solid, it's still friction because it's at a molecular level. It's fucking vibrating, and so that's creating friction and it's making it hot. And so it is so fucking hot on the inside.
Sean, I thought you never paid attention to school, and then you're bringing up all these like shit that actually is correct.
It's common sense.
I'm not a
Like,
stupid.
that's
dumb
like
fucking
science
part.
10.
That's the part of science that everybody kind of pays attention to because it's like, oh shit, I guess that makes sense. It's realistically, I see it plausible.
Except for flat earthers, they're fucking stupid. Oh, that's a good conspiracy. That's a good conspiracy to
Okay,
talk about.
one second. I read a thing where flat earthers were saying that if we were to obey the 2 meter apart person, per person rule, there wouldn't be enough space for people, and people would start falling off the plate.
See, that's one of those things. Like, it goes right back to when I started this. That's one of the ones that pissed me off. Flat earthers, because technically, well, I don't know how to word this. Like, yes, the world is round.
so
I would
easy to
say the
prove.
world is round.
It's
Bro,
so
if you get
easy.
high enough up in the air, you can literally see the
curvature of the Earth.
chance
Yes.
it's flat.
Like,
And
have you ever
see it-
been to an ocean? You can't see to the end of the ocean, dude. You can literally see it curve down.
And even the fact
Or if
that,
you're in
like,
an airplane,
if you
even
take
from a plane, you
if
can
you
see the
take
fucking.
if you take the moon, for instance, why the fuck would every other planet in this orbital system be circular and ours be flat?
No, but that's the thing is that they don't think that it's circular. They think that it's a fucking disc that's shining like this.
That's just
Because they don't think that anybody's landed on it either. They have both conspiracies tied in a fucking loop. So they think it's like a spotlight just going click, and it's like.
Okay, I gotta slow us down here 1 sec. We are 16 minutes over our
Who
hour.
cares? This is the best.
This is the best one, and I was actually gonna say, from here on out, we're gonna kind of, I don't know, not almost keep things conspiracy like, but talk about more shit that keep us on a loop like this, where it's not we keep bouncing from subject to subject. We'll be right on the same kind of thing, but in just different
We've had the
sections
most
of it.
out there ideas of this one, and we've definitely all came up with different stuff really quick for this one.
And you didn't even do your fucking homework. Well, ours wasn't up quick. Ours was fast.
But I know a lot about
We had
conspiracies
45
that aren't
minutes
this weird
of
shit you guys are
our-
talking about.
We had 45 minutes of our homework that we talked about, and then we went off about 45 minutes. Well, not 45 minutes, half an hour or so of general ranting on conspiracy theories. So I think that we should nail down right now maybe a conspiracy theory to talk about for this day.
Flat Earth.
See,
No,
let's all
it's so
do
stupid.
research on
No,
flat
it's so
earthers.
easy to disprove. It's so easy to disprove. So fuck that one. Let's do a plausible.
fuck that one.
I want
conspiracy theories.
No. Fucking asshole.
What's that?
So how do like streamers pull shit up on the screen?
What if we get Sawyer
Well,
in
it's
here
not
and
very
talk
hard.
about
I can do
Denver
it, but I just haven't started doing
Sorry,
it
what
because
was
it'll
that,
start
Sean?
like screwing my screen.
I said, what if we try and get Sawyer in here and we talk about the Denver airport?
What one was the Denver
Fuck, I
airport?
don't want to talk
There's like
about that one anymore,
There's like a
dude.
mural that's like
There's like a bunch of murals that are all like linked to the New World Order and shit.
Oh,
yeah, I've heard that one
that's
before.
right.
Why do we need Sawyer for that?
Because
Sawyer
Sawyer
loves
talking about
Sawyer
it.
fucking loves that.
Sawyer could talk about it the entire hour by
So
himself.
maybe there we go. We can get Sawyer back in for a feature on Thursday. He's only
Has
been
he
in
ever
one.
been this? Oh, I didn't.
He's only been in one because it was the one you missed, actually. But this time maybe he'd be with you, and we can get a 5-man in this one. If Sebastian's even going to come back,
yeah.
that'll be
I'll be here,
episode
boys.
8. That's the plan then. I say we talk
No,
about
that
it.
would be episode 9. This is episode 8.
Oh shit, that's right. Episode 8 is this. Correct.
At least I think, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you're right. You're right. I got it right here. Yep, this is
It's
episode 8.
been B.o.D news. Make sure to check out Mixer in the description if you're watching on YouTube. If you stuck with us on the stream, good for you. I don't know how you let us fucking talk this long, but
Jesus Christ.
Sebastian with the outro today. There you have it, everybody. It's a fucking
is.
pleasure, and we will
Tune
catch you
in next time.
episode.
Catch you later.
boys.
Always
Cheers.
a pleasure. Cheers.